Good morning. Welcome distinguished guests, family, friends, and shipmates from all over the world to this special occasion marking the retirement of Command and Master Chief John Edward Tucker. My name is Senior Chief Adam Hoffer, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for today's event. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, the national anthem, and the invocation. Commander, Naval Surface Group Central, arriving. Command Master Chief, Naval Surface Group Central, arriving. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem will be sung by Senior Chief Props.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light one so proud that we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Senior Chief. Chaplain Seahigh will now deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Dear Eternal Father, we thank you for how you've shown your faithfulness and steadfast love to Command Master Chief Don Tucker and his family over his long and distinguished career. By your good hand, you have guided him and his family over multiple assignments across the country, literally from sea to shining sea. And you protected and provided for him during multiple assignments in 5th, 6th, and 7th Fleet. We thank you for keeping them safe on those many trips and many days spent in harm's way, both in the air and on warships at sea. We ask that you would bless those who you use to encourage and build him up into the chief and sailor that he is today. We thank you for your love over his family during his long career, whether it was the friendships you brought to his family in places like Virginia, but truly the remarkable experience of serving with the Blue Angels in Pensacola. Thank you for preserving his family despite the sacrifices and hardships they faced along the way. As we remember his service and sacrifice to his nation, I ask that you would help his family remember how you showed your abundant love and new mercies every morning. I pray in my Redeemer's name, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Boatswain, post the side boys.
Aye, aye, Senior Chief. Side boys, right, left, face. Uncover. 2. Seats.
Will the guests please be seated? Today we gather to honor and witness the military closure of a significant portion of Command Master Chief John Tucker's life. His career of naval service has been both gratifying and rewarding, and today we celebrate his contributions. The retirement ceremony is the nation's expression of appreciation for a job well done, a sincere official recognition of a long period of faithful and honorable service. We also honor his family, his wife Chandra, daughter Kylie, and son Petty Officer Zachary Tucker, for their support and dedication. They have dealt with a multitude of challenges during their naval journey. We gratefully honor the family's courage and steadfastness and offer our best as they begin a new life. The ceremony we're about to see is a time-honored tradition of naval service. The ceremony itself has changed over the years as the Navy has evolved from predominantly seagoing commands to both sea and shore-based commands. Tradition has it that the commanding officer would say a few words about our shipmate, fellow shipmates would then provide gifts, and our shipmate would have the opportunity to make their closing comments. Following these comments, the retiree would then request permission to go ashore and would be piped ashore for the last time, thus closing 26 years of distinguished service to the U.S. Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Captain Gonzalez, Commander, Naval Surface Group Central.
Morning. Thank you for joining us, friends, family, peers, shipmates. It is both an honor and privilege to stand before you today and celebrate the career and contributions of Command Master Chief John J.T. Tucker as he embarks upon his well-deserved retirement. Today, we gather to recognize and reflect upon the incredible service, sacrifice, and leadership that Master Chief Tucker has given to the United States Navy and to every sailor who had the good fortune to serve with it. For over 2 decades, JT has embodied what it means to be a leader, a mentor, and a shipmate. He has dedicated his life to his country, and the legacy he leaves behind is one that will inspire generations to come. From the very beginning of his career, Master Chief showed an unbreakable and remarkable spirit and commitment to excellence. Whether he was fresh out of boot camp, back in Great Lakes, or later in his career leading sailors across various commands, he never settled for mediocrity. Every task was an opportunity for growth, every challenge met with determination, and every success shared with his team. JT understood that leadership is not just about rank, it's about building trust, showing respect, and setting an example that others want to follow. Throughout his career, he became known not just as an outstanding Master Chief, but as a sailor's sailor. He was the one who would take time to listen, offer advice, and push others to reach their potential. Master Chief was there early mornings, late nights, and times when things didn't go as planned. His steady hand at the tiller and wise counsel were a source of comfort and confidence for his fellow sailors, especially in the toughest moments. One of JT's greatest strengths has always been his genuine care for those around him. He has a remarkable ability to see beyond the uniform and recognize the person behind him. He understands that each sailor has their own story, their own dreams, and their own struggles. He took the time to get to know his sailors, to understand their motivations, and to help them chart their paths, both in the Navy and beyond. He never took the easy route when it came to leadership. He took the right one. And that's a quality you can't teach. It's a quality you can only admire. But JT's contributions were not limited only to his role within the Navy. As many of you know, he is a loving husband, a devoted father, and a cherished friend. His family has stood by him through countless deployments, long hours, and times of uncertainty. So the Chandra, Kylie, of course Trixie, who has run a 5K with me. That's the dog. Ashley, push it. Little baby, so you should be jealous. And mom and second class, ZT Tucker, or Zach, whichever one you want to adopt as you go on. Thank you. Your sacrifices have allowed him to serve at his very best. The love and support you provided over the years has been instrumental in shaping the remarkable leader we celebrate here today. As Master Chief transitioned toward the civilian life, we know that his work is far from over. Leaders like JT don't just fade away, they continue to inspire, mentor, and give back to their communities. We may be saying goodbye to a uniform, but I am certain that his influence will continue to be felt in countless ways in his communities and neighborhoods back home. He has left a lasting mark on our Navy, and his legacy will live on in the hearts and minds of those who serve alongside him. Those sailors that you took time to coach, train, and push on the deck. Your chiefs, you offered coaching in the mess to reach their fullest potential. And those officers in the wards we mentored. Whether it was seasoned, stubborn commodores of service crews, captains trying to find a way on board a destroyer, or our young, aspiring commanders of minesweepers, you are a resource. I take a moment to reflect upon the anchor that is at the core. The anchor holds us safe and true to steady waters, but also takes us far abroad, to port visits, overseas destinations, to be the expeditionary command that we are. That is who you are, and that's who you always will be. Master Chief, on behalf of everyone here today, thank you. Thank you for your service, for your unwavering dedication, and for the countless lives you've impacted. You've made the Navy and Fleet better. You have made each of us better for knowing you. We wish you fair winds and following seas as you embark upon this new chapter. May you find joy, peace, and fulfillment in whatever comes next. Congratulations on an extraordinary career, and thank you once again for everything you've given to our Navy and our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for Command Master Chief John D.T. Tucker and his family.
Thank you, Commander. Will all Chief Petty Officers, past and present, please stand and cover. Retired Master Chief Carla Kelly will now read the retirement creed.
You have on this day experienced that which comes to all of us who have served in active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty in no way terminates your relationship. By law and tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you earned as the chief was based on the same attributes you will carry now into retirement. You should have no regrets. Do not view your retirement as an end of an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment, to a form of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all fraternities, that of the U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officers. The active duty chiefs salute you, hand salute. Your retired chiefs welcome you, and I wish you the traditional fair winds and following seas.
Thank you, Carla. Chiefs, please be seated and uncovered. I will now read the Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Command Master Chief John E. Tucker. I extend my personal gratitude and a sincere appreciation of a grateful nation to you for your patriotic service to our country. Your bravery and dedication in our armed forces helped protect your fellow Americans during a critical moment in our history and contributed to a world of greater security and growing prosperity. Your devotion to duty, honor, and country, in keeping with the long traditions of the finest military in the world, embody the American idea of selfless service. Our nation owes you an incredible debt. Your commitment to the example you set will inspire future generations to serve with pride and to keep our country secure. You represent the best of our nation, and I join our fellow Americans in saluting your honorable service. I wish you happiness and success in your next chapter. Signed, Joseph R. Biden, Commander-in-Chief. Military personnel, attention to award. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Meritorious Service Medal to Command Master Chief John E. Tucker, United States Navy, for service set forth in the following. For outstanding meritorious service as Command Master Chief in Naval Surface Squadron 5 and Naval Surface Group Central from February 2023 to December 2024. Master Chief Tucker distinguished himself with inspirational leadership and exceptional foresight, successfully guiding the staff of Surface Group Central in support of 4 Avenger-class mine countermeasure warships. He guided the squadron and group by providing sustainable maintenance support and oversight in manning requirements, training, certification, and logistics, thereby delivering warships ready for tasking. Directly supporting Commander, U.S. Naval Forces Central Command, and Commanders Task Force 5-2, Task Force 5-5, and Task Force 5-9 in their operational missions. During his tenure, his forces participated in Operations Unified Takedown, Prosperity Guardian, and exercises with partner nations. During Operation Prosperity Guardian, countering Houthi aggression, 3 MCM crews were successfully sustained and positioned to conduct operations in the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea, the longest continuous effort away from home port in the 30-plus year history of the Avenger-class MCM warships. Surface Group Central organized the only established leadership development program in Bahrain. Surface Group Central facilitators hosted 27 courses, ensuring 540 sailors were trained to meet promotion milestone requirements. This superb tour of duty culminated a distinguished career of 26 years of loyal and faithful service to his country. Master Chief Tucker's exceptional professionalism, personal initiative, and loyal devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the President, signed JFK Hill, Rear Admiral, United States Navy, Commander, Naval Service Force Atlantic. Please be seated. The Surface Group Central CPO Mess will present their gift. Mrs. Lauren Gonzalez will now read the spouse's creed.
The Lord was created in a military way. He ran into his 6th day of overtime. An angel appeared and said, "You're having a lot of trouble with this one. What's wrong with the standard model?" The Lord replied, "Have you seen the specs on this order? It has to be completely independent, but must always be sponsored to get on a military installation. It must have the qualities of both mother and father during deployments, be a perfect host to 4 or 40, handle emergencies without an instruction manual, cope with flu and moves all around the world, have a kiss that cures anything from a child's first knee to a husband's weary days, have the patience of a saint when waiting for his mate to come home, and have 6 pairs of hands." The angel shook her head slowly and said, "6 pairs of hands? No way." The Lord answered, "Don't worry, we'll make other military wives to help. Besides, it's not the hands that are causing the problem, it's the heart. It must swallow pride, sustain the ache of numerous separations while remaining true, beat soundly even when it feels too tired to do so, be large enough to say, 'I understand,' when it doesn't, and say, 'I love you regardless.'" "Lord," said the angel, gently touching his sleeve, "go to bed. You can finish it tomorrow." "I can't," said the Lord. "I'm so close to creating something quite unique. Already it can heal itself when sick. On a moment's notice, it will willingly embrace and feed total strangers who have been stranded during a PCS move. And it can wave goodbye to his husband, understanding why he had to leave." The angel circled the model of the military wife very slowly. "It's too soft," she sighed. "But tough," the Lord said excitedly. "You cannot imagine what this being can do or endure." "Can it think?" asked the angel. "Can it think? It can convert 1400 to 2 p.m., replied the Lord. Finally, the angel bent over and ran her finger across the cheek. "There's a leak," she said. "I told you you were trying to put too much into this model." "It's not a leak," said the Lord.
I will now read a military child.
I am a military child. My hometown is somewhere between California and Spain. My friends are all over the world. I grew up with the knowledge that home is where the heart and family are, with no dependence to a house. Moving around is my way of life. Some would wonder about my roots, yet they are as deep and strong as the mighty oaks. I sink them quickly, absorbing all an area offers, hopefully giving enrichment in return. Travel has taught me to be open, shaking hands with the universe. I find friends everywhere I go. Farewells are never easy, yet even in sorrow comes strength and the ability to face tomorrow with anticipation. If I leave one place, feeling that half my world has been left behind, I also know that the other half is still waiting to be with me. Friendships are formed in hours and kept for decades. I will never grow up with someone, but I will mature with many. Be it that we cannot avoid that paths apart, there is constant hope that they will meet again. Love of country, respect, and pride fill my being when old glory passes in review. As I stand to honor that flag, so also do I stand to honor all military people, most especially those whose life created mine, my parents. Because of them, I have shared in the rich heritage of military life. I am a military child.
It is now my pleasure to present to you Command Master Chief John Tucker. All right. Thank you all. Thanks for coming, everyone. Did anyone ever Google what to say at a retirement ceremony? All right, I tell you to do two things, right? Be short, be funny. I need to do those things, so you're gonna bear with me for a couple minutes. Because I want to talk about a few final words of advice to give everyone in this room. This room is a big group of leaders, right? Everyone in this room is a leader at some level. So I'm gonna give you some words of advice that have helped me throughout my career, and we're gonna talk about. All right, so it's easy, right? Do not be so withdrawn from your leadership that you start to rot. Right? Think about that. You understand a fruit or vegetable, right? And it's in like a plate, and there's a rotten strawberry, right? What happens to that rotten strawberry? What happens to the strawberries around it? Yeah, it starts to rot, right? Along with that kind of rotten fruit there. So, what does that have to do with leadership? Think about it. All right. So people are successful because of the leaders that they have worked for. Right? So really think about that repeatedly. People are successful because of the leaders that they have worked for. Right? We know not everyone is successful. Right? I'm not talking about unsuccessful people. I'm talking about successful people are successful because of the leaders they work. Happens two ways. Right? Because of or in spite of. Right? That makes sense? But that's where successful people and unsuccessful differ, right? In spite of that leadership. We take those experiences and we grow from them. But both good and bad leaders enable our success. And so, it's a little bit non-traditional, right? But I'm going to get interactive for a minute, so I need you all to play along. In a minute, I'm going to ask everyone to stand up. And we're going to do just a quick exercise. It's not going to take long. You're not moving seats, all right? All right, so when we stand up, I need everybody to keep their head like locked straight, right? And we're going to rotate 360 degrees. Left, right, fast or slow, it doesn't matter. It's 100% your prerogative. We'll have you do it. All right? As you're spinning around, I want you to see how many people you interact with your eyes. Right? Remember, your life goes through. If you're spinning, keep your eyes in front of you, just take note of how many people that you interact with in that spin around, that 360 degrees. All right?
way, fast or slow, it's up to you guys. All right, get ready, and once you're done, sit down. Don't wait. All right, go. So why do we do that? Besides, I asked you to. Well, it's my retirement day, so I appreciate it. Why do we do that? See if we can get everybody to stand up. It's to demonstrate, right, your scope of leadership or mentorship impact at any given moment. All right? Everybody that we serve with is in and orbit. They're doing a 360 in their own life, right? So that's a representation of the direct scope of leadership or mentorship that you have at any given moment. So when you're spinning around, somebody's looking at you, you'll know it. All right? So you're looking at people aren't looking at you, but that's your scope of impact. So everyone's turning in different directions, different speeds, but it shows your impact at any given moment. The interaction and how it's received with each person is different. Not better or worse for one or the other, right? Just different. Everybody has a different reference to where someone is in their orbit, right? Everybody has a touch with somebody at a different point. So you have to look inward and see where you are in your 360 degrees and where the folks you are talking to, where they are in their orbit, right? And if you and your boss aren't seeing eye to eye on something, right? Different orbits. It's our responsibility to fix that, right? As proteges and as leaders. But if you're not seeing eye to eye with your boss, you have to fix it. What happens to rotting fruit? It spreads, right? So if you're not, you all can be in completely different directions. Your boss and you, so you need to get back in the same orbit. It's not always on your boss to fix that either. Just remember that. So fix it, own it. It doesn't make no bad leader, doesn't make you a bad protege. You guys just aren't in sync. So seek that person out, align your vision to match what the organization needs and wants. That's what we're here for, to serve the organization. Think of them as rays of leadership. All right, those rays of leadership are going to prevent rot within an organization. So don't be so withdrawn from your leadership that you start to rot. Seek it out. Seek out mentorship from the people you work with, your peers, your bosses, and then provide mentorship to the folks beneath you. But remember that they're not always going to see eye to eye with you because they're working with different. Right? We know? All right. Have enough self-awareness to not negatively influence those that you directly lead. Because you and your leadership do not see eye to eye, and you are not getting enough of those rays of leadership. It happens at every level, I promise. Be self-aware. It's your responsibility. And I say that at the beginning of every chief season, be the best version of yourself every day. You never know who is in your scope of influence at any given moment. I want to thank everyone for coming out. Commodore, thank you for the Commodore. Thank you for the thanks for the prayer. And thanks to everyone who made this event possible today. The list is endless, so thank you all for everything. I appreciate it. Lost my spot. Oh, thanks to all the leaders, both good and not so good, that provided me the opportunity to be successful throughout my career. You all have helped shape my career. I want to thank my amazing family, because without them, none of this would have been possible. John, there are no words to quantify how much I appreciate you. There's no way we would be where we are today without your sacrifices. We started our lives a long time ago, and it was in Florida, where we met Florida, moved to Virginia, moved back to Florida, to Maine, to Illinois, back to Florida, Tennessee, Florida again. No. And when we went to Virginia, went out to Hawaii, and now we're in Bahrain. So that's 11 moves, 11 PCS moves in 26 years. So I appreciate that. We're in the midst of impacted me and my family in some way, and I appreciate you all for it. After all, we are the sum of our experiences. And finally, some say that we stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before us. Well, I'm here telling you all right now that everyone in this room is a giant to something. So act like it. Every day, live your life like you are someone's giant. You never know who is in your orbit and how you will influence them. Thank you all for your support. I will miss each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, CMC.
Thank you, Tim. Attention. Cover. Two. Side step. March. Forward. March. March time. March. Thank you, Bill. Hold. I, in the flag of the United States of America, my name is, oh glory. I fly on top of the world's tallest buildings. I stand guard of America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over the great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I am flowing my fellow banners, my head a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am respected. I am revered. I am loved. And I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for over 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the jungles of Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and scores of places long forgotten by all, except for those who were with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I looked over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and torn. But my sailors and Marines cheered me, and I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th at cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised in once proud buildings by brave firefighters, heroes who gave their lives to save others. To show all of America, although bloody, will never be beaten. Those who destroy me did not win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been soiled, burned, torn, trembled on the streets of my own country, and when it's done by those I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surely bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over on frontiers of space. I've been a silent witness to all America's finest hours. But the finest hour comes when I'm being passed through the ranks of John Tucker's 26 years of faithful service. When I'm being torn into strips for wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly at half-mast to honor my soldiers, my airmen, my sailors, and my Marines. And when I lay in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the gravesite of a fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is, oh glory, long may I wave, dear God. Long may I wave. Ready, two. Back detail, right, face, forward, mark.
Senior Chief Props will now read the watch.
For 26 years, this area has stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this area stood the watch. While some of us were in school, learning our trades, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, shipmate had the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this shipmate stood the watch. Many times he would cast an eye ashore to see Chandra, Kylie, standing, needing his guidance and help. Needing that hand to hold during those hard times, but he still stood the watch. He stood the watch for 26 years. He stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen can sleep soundly and safely each and every night, knowing that a Savior, our brother, Chandra's husband, Kylie, Zachary's father, stood the watch. Today we're here to say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those who have trained, guided, and led. Master Chief, you stand relieved. We have to watch.
This order has been passed on Navy ships from the early 1500s through today. Spanish, French, Dutch, and English. Yes, every navy in the world has used the boatswain's call and side boys to bring aboard or send ashore its officers and visiting dignitaries. The boatswain would pipe the side as the side boys lay on or lay off the lines used to raise or lower the boarding platform. This was done so that officers and visiting dignitaries would not have to climb aboard using the rack lines that the crew used. The ship's master or captain would also extend the privilege and honor to port officials to ensure a good berth for his ship while aboard. It was not uncommon for a commanding officer of a naval ship of the line to order up the jolly boat, 8 strong backs to man the oars, along with the boatswain and the side boys to send an old shipmate ashore to his retirement home, ashore never to sail a naval ship again. All hands on deck was passed. The crew fell in at parade rest for muster. The commanding officer would make a speech telling about the retiree's service, the great battles fought upon the open seas, the victories, the storms weathered, voyages to strange and distant lands, ports of call visited that others can only dream about. He would also speak of the shipmates left behind. The boatswain would stand tall, the side boys and the crew were called to attention. and then the retiree would step at quarterdeck, salute the commanding officer, and request permission to go ashore. Permission granted, the retiree would step onto the platform and salute the flag he served. And then the retiree would be seated at the stern seats of the jolly boat, going ashore. As the side boys lowered away the jolly boat to the boatswain's call, the ship's gunner would fire a final salute from the ship's main battery. The United States Navy was the first Navy to provide side honors to its enlisted crewmen. In the early to mid-1800s, enlisted men were holding retirements for their enlisted shipmates. After the Civil War, the commanding officer would take part in these enlisted retirements to show that he and the Navy recognized the contributions made by the enlisted men. And still today, we heave to, stop all engines, lay about smartly, and drop anchor, and stand by to pay honor to one of our shipmates, a shipmate going ashore, to honor those here served, the guidance, the leadership, the expertise, and above all, the friendship that this shipmate has given the past 26 years. Boatswain, stand by to pipe the side, shipmate going ashore.
I understand, Chief. Side boys, Lieutenant Hutt. Cover. 2, right or left face.
Military personnel and guests, please rise for the benediction and remain standing for the duration of the ceremony. Chaplain C.I. will now deliver the benediction.
Let us pray. O merciful God, as we conclude this ceremony, we thank you for how you raise up men like Command Master Chief Tucker, serving our country in time of war, and protecting our country from the threat of tyranny. As John concludes his long and faithful service, a service of honor and sacrifice, I ask that you continue to guide him by your good hand. Guide him as he builds a new life, and bless and prosper him for his many sacrifices. They have many days of rest to spend with his family, and even their dog Trixie. May his son carry on the Tucker family's warfighting tradition. We ask that you continue to shower him and his family with your goodness and kindness. And may we who follow in his footsteps always and forever stand watch against tyranny and oppression, in eternal remembrance to his legacy as he retires from our Navy. I pray in my Redeemer's name, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. All Chief Petty Officers, man the rails. I will now read the Fleet Reserve Certificate. Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy. This is to certify that Command Master Chief John Edward Tucker was transferred from active duty to the Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy on the 31st day of March, 2025, after 26 years of service. This certificate is awarded as a testimonial of faithful and honorable service. Signed, Luis A. Gonzalez, Captain, United States Navy, Commander, Naval Service Force, Group Central. Command Master Chief Tucker, United States Navy, retired, departed. Customary following a retirement for the family to be piped ashore, honoring them for their contribution to their husband and father's career. Navy family, retired, departed. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. JT and his family would like to thank all of you for sharing this special occasion with them. You're cordially invited for light refreshments in the barbecue area in about 15 to 20 minutes.